Welcome to the Week 16 NFL preview of the Amateur Hour. We're joined once again by Bill McDowell, winner of the Week 15 NFL Pick'em. He snaked out my beautiful wife Carla at the very end there. The Jackson Smith and Jigba and the Seahawks, Drew Lock. Never bet against him, I guess. Lesson learned.
Yeah, yeah. Drew Lock is him, I guess. He's did the backpack celebration or jacket. I thought it was a jacket. I saw it on Twitter as a backpack celebration. I think it's a jacket.
Bill, let's since you've won 2 weeks in a row now, you got to be have some hot fingies and a hot brain. Who do you got as your lock of the week for Week
Uh,
16?
yeah, so my lock of the week went well last week with the Dolphins. My wife Taylor was trying to convince me that that was a bad pick, especially with Tyreek Hill being out, but I had to stick with it, and
Smoked him.
they absolutely dominated, a true lock of the week. So we'll see if I keep up my hot streak on that front. There's nothing I feel as good about this week, but I am going with the Seahawks to cover 2.5 against the Titans. Mostly this is just a fade on the Titans, with the Titans just being an absolute garbage franchise currently. And the Seahawks having some momentum and needing to keep winning to have a chance to get into the playoffs.
Does
I
it
like
make you
that.
nervous at all having Drew Lock in Nashville for the weekend, partying it up? You think he's going to be a little hungover for game day?
I think it's just going to make them better. It's like a flu game.
I like it. I like it. As the swag goes up and the confidence goes up, his performance goes up as well. So if
He's
he
a
gets
father.
let,
I don't think he's going to be partying.
he's a father?
He's a father now. I think they talked
Ah,
about that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dave, who do you got as your lock?
I'm gonna ride the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins. I think Tyreek Hill hopefully
Whoa.
should be back. I think this is the fraud bowl. I was looking. I didn't really have a one game I was super confident in, but I'm gonna go with the fraud bowl here. Dallas. I'm kind of fading Dallas on the road. They're like unstoppable at home, but they're on the road in Miami. Um, so it's gonna be it's a pretty close line there. I'm just hoping that the Dolphins can cover 1.5 against Dallas, but it's gonna be a good game. That's one of the games of the weekend, I think.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that. I'm going to actually go the Lions at on the road against the Vikings. I just don't. They haven't played each other yet, those teams this year. Um, I know the Lions kind of had close games and they lost to Chicago, but I think that's a better defense than Minnesota. And I just don't think, who are they even starting at quarterback now in Minnesota?
The Minnesota Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins. I just don't think Nick Mullins can keep him within 3 points.
What's the spread? 3.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I was doing some thinking. I like both those picks, guys. And I think next season, it's obviously too late now. We should do some sort of wager on like our locks of the week because I think, there needs to be some pressure, at least for John and I, not the guests. There shouldn't be any pressure for the
Yeah, that's
guests because
true.
they're coming off a win. But I think John and I just kind of willy-nilly throw something out there and there's no repercussions. So John, you and I need to do something either embarrassing or costly or something. I don't know.
Side bets.
Yeah. We'll
Or-
figure something out for
I
next
like that.
season.
That's good. So does that mean, Dave, we can lock you down for one more contract year of the amateur hour?
Yeah, you can
Can we
sign me for an
extend you?
extension. Yeah, I've been in the money the last 2 weeks, and now I'm all the way back in.
The morale is up.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Can you tell us how did Bill do on his fantasy stud last week?
yeah. You want me to talk about locks first or just studs?
You, hit them both. Hit them both.
Okay. So I didn't jot down Bill's lock of the week last week, so I had to listen back. Bill had the Dolphins. He mentioned that earlier in the start of this podcast. -9.5. He said kind of contingent on Tyreek Hill, but he rode the wave anyways, and it paid off dividends. It was such a lock that it covered anyways. And then John, you had Cardinals plus 14. You thought you were just beating Vegas there, but you were wrong. The 49ers covered. So 49ers, that was a loss for you. And then I had the Cowboys. I thought I was beating Vegas and I thought I was a genius. I put money on Cowboys money line, and they got just walloped in Buffalo. So we both did not hit that. I'm 7-8 on the year. John is 5-8. He's missed a couple episodes. And then the guest is 4-6 now after Bill's victory there.
Bill's bringing him back, baby.
Bill's bringing it back up. As far as fantasy studs, you guys both went the tight end route. Bill won Isaiah Likely, who scored 16. I just looked at
Nice.
one of my leagues that I have. So a great week out of Bill there. And then you had Trey McBride, John. He also had a good week at 16.2. So two fantasy studs for you guys. I had Drake London coming off a huge week, and he supported my pick with 4.9 points. So not exactly a fantasy stud. Probably lost a couple people a fantasy matchup, so I apologize for that.
Doug, real quick, I gotta say, Nick Diltz has this dynasty. Everyone thinks he's got like the best dynasty fantasy football team the world's ever seen. And he starts Bijan Robinson, gets 0.4 points in the first round of the playoffs and ends up losing the game. If he would have started any other running back on his roster, he would have won the game.
He lost it that close.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah,
By DK Metcalf at the end. The other guy had DK Metcalf down by like 10 points. DK Metcalf sucked the first like three
yeah, he didn't
quarters
do
of that
anything
game.
in the first three
And
quarters.
that last drive, he had like 3 catches for 40 or 50 yards and put him over. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
The league loved it though. They love seeing Nick lose.
Yeah, Nick's down bad right now. He's down in the pick'em. He lost some fantasies. That his baby, his dynasty league is his baby, and he just dropped it on the floor.
He did get a new house though, so I think that probably is making him feel a little better.
Well, I like shitting on Nick, so let's just keep shitting
You're
on him
right. He
instead.
didn't. Yeah, fuck his new house.
Yeah.
Um, Bill, who's your fantasy stud this week?
I'm gonna go with Brandon Cooks, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. I mostly just kind of going on that on the overall vibe of what I think that game is gonna be. I think that Cowboys Dolphins is gonna be a shootout. Dolphins continue to be a bit nicked up on defense. And I just think there's going to be a lot of points to be had in the passing game for the Cowboys. And I think Brandon Cooks has a bit of a bounce back after having a couple of slow weeks.
I like that one. That's a
Great
true
pick.
fantasy stud because he hasn't like balled out all year. You know, he's not like a top 10 receiver, probably even top 24. So,
Really high boomer bust potential out of
right. I like
Brandon
that. I
Cooks.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's a good pick. I'm gonna go Rashee Rice, your boy in Kansas City. You were shitting on the wide receivers a couple episodes ago or last episode, whatever. You've been on like 12 of these fucking episodes. So but I'm going Rashee Rice. You know, he's been playing well. He's been one bright spot of that Chiefs offense. So I'm hoping that he has a good week here. They always shit on the Raiders, it feels like. I mean, the Raiders sometimes play them tough, but the last recency bias shows that the Chiefs can play well against the Raiders, and Raiders secondary blows, their whole team blows. So in Kansas City. Around the holidays, I think Rashee Rice gets sprinkled with some fantasy action.
And then I'm gonna go, and I'm not doing this because I hope the Packers win. I'm doing this because their defense is abysmal, David. So don't even think, don't get it twisted. I'm
Adam
gonna take
Thielen.
I'm gonna take Chuba Hubbard of the running back of the Carolina Panthers because they can't stop the run, can't stop the pass anymore. Baker Mayfield has a perfect game in Lambeau the first time ever in like however long they've been playing as an away quarterback. So yeah, I just think Chuba Hubbard's gonna run all over him. It'll probably be a close game, and they'll just give him the ball and he'll run 5 yards every time. So
Let's talk about that Packers game. Where are you at emotionally? I had Mike Evans and what the hell is that running back's name? Number one.
Rashad.
Yeah, yeah. So I had both of those guys, so they did well for me in fantasy. But where are you at? You were at the game. How were the vibes in the stadium? Hopefully pretty low. You're pretty much out of the playoff race now. I mean, you're still in it, but at this point, are you rooting for a better draft pick, rooting for playoffs? Like, where are you at emotionally as a Packer fan?
Mm,
Because they got whomped at home with the season on the line against the Buccaneers, who's
yeah,
kind of
so I'm
they're a
not.
mid team.
Yeah, they definitely are. I don't want to disparage Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, but I think my biggest wish is that he just coaches somewhere else and does something else, like, special teams coordinator, linebacker coach, whatever. I just don't want him to be the defensive coordinator. He's probably the most hated man in the state right now.
I don't get it. Do you have like stock in Joe Barry? Like, why do you not want to shit on him? He's a terrible coach.
Because he's still a human being. I mean, I guess he's making a couple million a year, so I think it's okay. But yeah, he's just not. I mean, you look at all the defenses he's been the coordinator of, and they're all abysmal. So I don't know why this was ever thought to be a good idea. I think we've talked about this in past episodes. It's like the same fools in the NFL just keep getting redos at different teams, and they think it's going to be different, like Frank Reich, right? Or who's the guy that went to the Panthers from
Yeah,
the
Frank.
Colts?
Yeah, Frank Reich. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you suck ass one place. Oh, maybe if we ship you down to Carolina, that's going to work out better. It doesn't. They just suck. So find someone new. And it's the same thing with Joe Barry. I think he's been defensive coordinator like 3 teams. He was on like the 0-16 Lions. He was that defensive coordinator. So
Well, yeah, after that performance, how do you not hire him all over the league?
honestly, if they're gonna lose to the Panthers, I hope the Panthers just absolutely blow them out. I hope they win by like put up like 50
No,
points.
they can't lose to the Panthers, dude. I need their draft pick. The Packers need to sack up here and get a win.
No, I don't know. I
That'd
think
be the ultimate slap in the face for the rivalry of the,
Yeah, it
the
would.
Packers stole the Bears getting
Dude,
first
that would
overall
be
draft
that
pick
would
by
be
losing.
that would really suck. You guys got to figure your shit out and get a win.
dog, I don't know, and it just like they play so soft on defense. I don't know if part of it's too like they've had these veteran cornerbacks and safeties the past 2 weeks, and when they won against the Lions, I know they were starting like all rookies, or not maybe rookies, but like rookie second year, and those guys just played great. They hit hard, and I don't know if they let these veterans like are like, oh shit, they're gonna take our jobs, and they came back and they suck. I don't know, but the defense is terrible. I mean, like. Dude, Baker Mayfield looks like a perennial all pro, like best quarterback and top 5 quarterback in the league against their defense.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you look at like the spray chart of the quarterbacks that the Packers defense have made look good, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, Tommy DeVito's looked like an all-pro against them. Baker Mayfield. Who else? Who else did they get shit on by?
Earlier in the year, stupid Desmond Ritter
Yeah, Desmond Ritter sucks ass,
sucks
dude.
ass.
He sucks. He is screwing the Bears by losing to the Panthers. Dude,
Yeah,
come on. How do you lose to the Panthers? Like Desmond Ritter is so bad.
yeah. I I don't know. If I can think more, but I mean,
I
what would you
see
guys want of your defensive coordinator? Like the Chiefs defense looks great. The Bears defense has really come on. They look fabulous.
I want Eberflus to take a demotion and be the defensive coordinator, but that would never happen in a million years. No NFL coach is going to go from head coach to defensive coordinator. But really, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. But in the NFL, you fail upwards. So I'm sure Eberflus, if he gets fired from the Bears, will get a job somewhere else, like you said,
Yeah.
like that
As the
loser Frank
GM,
Reich.
dude.
Yeah, he'll just keep failing upwards and like. But if it made sense in reality, the reality that we live in, if you do a shit job, if you do a good job as a coordinator, you get hired as a head coach, you do a shit job as a head coach, you think you go back to a coordinator. And especially at a program where you already have like established kind of your culture, but maybe that's the biggest issue is like getting a new culture into the culture you've already tried to establish. It's going to be too much of like a cosmic shift. So he's definitely not going to take a demotion, but I'd like that. But the Chiefs defense is looking solid. Once you say what Bill, I mean, they gave up 17 to the Patriots and their offense is kind of sad, but overall, I think they've looked solid all year.
Yeah, they've looked good all year. I think they got back to their form a little bit. I mean, obviously it's the Patriots, and they're not that great of a team to measure up against. But yeah, I think the if the Chiefs do go far this year, I think it is going to be their defense keeping them in there. They have one of the more solid pass rushes with Chris Jones and Furious George in his second year. So
Karlaftis?
yeah,
Yeah, Chris Jones is one of the scariest men in the NFL. That
Do
is
you
a fact.
I didn't know how big he was. Didn't we talk? He's like 6'6", 320 pounds or something.
Yeah, he's huge.
Like a beast of a
I, I
human.
I do have bad news for you though, Bill, as a Chiefs fan. I put money on the Chiefs to win the AFC and to win the Super Bowl as a future. So I figured I did it before the Patriots game. They were kind of down bad after that Bills loss. I sprinkled a little future on both of those. So bad news for any Chiefs fan across America, but I'm just hoping that I can catch some of that Chiefs luck in the past couple of years.
Do you think, Bill, that they will be able to secure the 1 seed and get that home field advantage again?
I mean the schedule shapes up really really well for them.
Hmm.
And I think the path to the 1 seed is going to be decided this weekend. And with the Dolphins having a somewhat tough matchup with the Cowboys and the Ravens having a really tough matchup with the 49ers, um, if both those teams lose, which is very possible, that gives the Chiefs the inside track to the one. Um, if you don't have losses by both those teams, it makes it a pretty difficult uphill battle. But
And then we may get to see Patrick Mahomes on the road for the first time in the playoffs, huh?
yeah,
That will be interesting. Has he never had a road playoff game?
no,
Wow. I knew he didn't have very many of them, but damn. Um, yeah, it's gonna be really a fun last couple weeks. It's kind of sad that it's already. I was looking at the pick 'em, or I was writing down our picks in my notes app, and I was like, week 16, man, that's sad. That is really sad. It's this NFL season has gone fast, I feel like.
Yeah,
I'm
it
excited for
has.
the playoffs, but it's just devastating to have it be over, especially when you're a fan of a team like the Bears who's not going to make the playoffs. It's just like, all right, it's almost the off season, and now it's just going to be going back to Bears Twitter and seeing all the psychopaths from Chicago try to weigh in on what they think the Bears should do. So it's tough.
Dave, do you have a team that because I don't think the Packers are going to make it either. Do you have a team that you're going to be rooting for?
Yeah, my two favorite teams are the Bears and the Chargers. So it's been a rough NFL season for me. I'm gonna be. It sounds kind of chalky now, but I'm gonna be kind of rooting for the Ravens in the AFC. I like Lamar Jackson. I like their offense. I think they're fun to watch. Their defense is scrappy. I like their colors. Baltimore, hasn't been in the glory since that Super Bowl win with
Flacco.
Joe Flacco, yeah, against the 49ers in that Super Bowl. So kind of rooting for them. I would love to see like a 49ers Ravens rematch. I think that would be a cool Super Bowl. I don't really want the Eagles back in, and it's looking like they probably won't make it in. But the NFC, besides the Niners, they kind of have a couple teams that are kind of fraudulent, I would say. And the Niners are pretty dependent on Brock Purdy staying healthy too. So got to keep him healthy. He was banged up for a couple plays last game, but he ended up coming back in. So I don't know. I guess out of the AFC, I'll go Ravens. NFC, I'll go Niners just out of storyline alone or like game matchup alone.
Bill, if the Chiefs can't make the AFC or make the Super Bowl, who would you like to see out of the AFC where that wouldn't upset you?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I really like the Texans this year. I really like watching them. I really like the C.J. Stroud story as a rookie, just dominating. If they didn't have the injuries they got at receiver, then I think they could have been a good dark horse to make the Super Bowl. But that'll probably be the team that I'll be rooting for in the AFC outside of the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like that. Everyone loves a good underdog, and it is D'Amico Ryan's first year, isn't it, as head coach? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
pretty impressive. Rookie
very impressive.
quarterback, first year as a head coach, and you're vying for the playoffs. That's really something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably going to be rooting for the Lions just because they haven't won a playoff game since like the 90s.
Division rival, dude. Don't ever root for a division rival to have
I,
success.
I don't care. I don't have
That's
to
just a
live by
weird,
your
it's just a
code.
that's just a weird ass thing to do. Like, why
No.
would you ever root for a team like I get the fact that the Lions are a pathetic organization in recent history and in our lifetime. So like seeing them have success is like kind of like a make-a-wish kid, have scoring a touchdown in the spring game. But
Or
at the
making
same
a
time,
three-pointer.
like they're still our division rivals, so I don't want them to win any Super Bowls anytime soon because it's fun to laugh at them, It's fun to laugh at them and the Vikings, so I'm gonna keep laughing at them.
I like their team. I like the rookies they have, and I just like them all, Dave. So
You got to catch them all. He's ass catch 'em, dude. John O'Pine.
ask catch 'em. And then out of the AFC, I think I would agree with that. I like watching Lamar Jackson play, so I'd be rooting for them, the Ravens. So
Dolphins would be a fun one. They have a lot of like
yeah,
big name guys, offense and defense, so they would be fun to watch. Like make a good run. The Bills are always fun, I think. I know like a lot of Chiefs fans really hate the Bills. I work with a ton of Chiefs fans. They hate the Bengals and Joe Burrow, and they hate the Bills and Josh Allen. So I think if Joe Burrow was healthy, I'd be rooting for the Bengals, but he's not. I'm not a huge Jake Browning guy. He's a Washington Husky, so I can't really root for him. So I'm gonna go probably Bills and Ravens.
Bills and Ravens. All right. Is there a matchup besides the premier one that you guys are interested in this week? So obviously Monday night's the big one, Baltimore and San Francisco, and then like we talked about, Dallas and Miami are kind of the two marquee matchups. Are there any others that really tickle your fancy?
Dude, these poor bastards playing all these games on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah, I feel bad for him making a couple mil, and your ass would be out there, Dave, if they gave you $1 million to go
Oh yeah,
play.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, Not really. I mean, there's a lot of games like 5, 10 weeks ago, I would have been stoked for like this Texans Browns game, but now I'm not really that excited for it. Just Flacco versus um what's his fucking nuts? He played Case Keenum. CJ Stroud's probably out again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how big of frauds are the Jaguars, man? I was so excited about the Jaguars and so many good players, and like they suck ass, dude. Trevor Lawrence is ass. Like he is a fraud. I get all my buddies back home, like and the guys I went to college with, they give me so much shit for Justin Herbert, but I think Justin Herbert's better than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a fraud.
Yeah, that
Alert.
one fumble he had where he literally just gave the ball away. He's like,
Boop.
oh, I guess I should just drop this now.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
that? I know.
Yeah, I think did he have two? Or no, he had a fumble and an interception.
I think he had 2 fumbles.
Did he have two fumbles?
Yeah, he might
I
have
think
two
you're right.
fumbles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that first fumble where he's just like, well, I guess I'm just dropping the ball now. Like, it's just horrible.
hmm. Bill, you got any you're looking forward to, or you think you'll actually tune into?
I was gonna say the Browns and Texans just because it is an interesting
Playoff?
matchup of kind of two like middle of the road potential playoff teams in the
True, yeah, true.
AFC and really jockeying for position. So I think it's gonna be like a hard hitting bit of a kind of a feisty game between those two teams. So I think that'll be a good game.
That's a good point. There's a
I
lot on the
like that
line
one.
in that game.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually am interested in this Bengals Steelers. Division rivals. I think both are still in the playoff hunt.
Mason Rudolph versus Jake Browning. That's
Dog.
that's what dreams are made of, dude.
Dude, that's just the reality of the NFL this year. Like how many starting quarterbacks have gone down?
See, if this game was on Christmas Eve, I would be hammering Mason Rudolph. Any of his props, any of the Steelers bets, just out of the Christmas magic alone. But it's played on the 23rd, so I don't think that magic is going to be alive.
Oh, it's a Saturday game.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Rudolph
think
the
that
Red-Nosed
game is
Reindeer.
I think that game is like an Iowa game this year. The over-under's at 37, but I don't think they could set the over-under low enough. I think
Damn.
you're gonna see the Steelers out there and be confused for a second if you just glance at the TV quick while you're with family and be like, "Oh, is this an Iowa game?" There's no points here.
Yeah, yeah. The
Um,
Bengals offense has been surprisingly kind of impressive though. But I think Jamar Chase might be out.
he is.
Oh, yeah. Um, that Bears Cardinals that gives me flashbacks to that game that the Bears were down and the defense had like the defense special teams had like 3 touchdowns in the second half for the Bears to come back and win. The Bears are who we thought they were. Do you remember that interview by that Cardinals head coach?
Where was that? When was
Oh
that?
God, this was like the Super Bowl year, I think, like 2006.
Oh,
So
with
maybe
Lovey?
go watch those highlights, yeah, on YouTube. They're great. Devin Hester had a kick return touchdown or a punt return touchdown. Lance Briggs, I think, fumble recovery touchdown. Peanut Tillman, fumble recovery. So that was great. But this is one of those games I'm going to look Sunday, Christmas Eve, primetime game. This is one of those shut the TV off and spend time with your family. It's Patriots at Denver Broncos. So that is that is a turd bowl. I mean, the Broncos are fighting for their life, so you could tune in and see how the Broncos are doing. But they were a disappointment on that standalone primetime game on Saturday night against the Lions. Um, Probably going to be a disappointment again, just for America in general to watch that.
Dave Bill, what are you guys asking? What are you hoping for Christmas?
Bill, what's on the top of your list? What have you stuffed the envelope to the North Pole with?
Oh gosh. I don't even know. I like people that were asking me for stuff for Christmas. I couldn't come up
Okay,
with a
Bill. Okay,
single idea.
forget that question. How about this? What are you asking Santa for in terms of NFL outcomes, either this season or going forward?
Well, I guess I gotta go with Dolphins and Ravens losing this week as a Chiefs fan. I think that's kind of the obvious cop out answer, but that would make me very happy. That would make my Christmas Day on Monday night if the Niners were able to hold off the Ravens.
So you're hoping for that one seed. You're
Yeah,
just drooling, hoping for that one seed, and Santa Claus is
yeah.
working hard to make that happen for you.
It kind of fell into the laps last year, so we'll see if it materializes again this year.
I'm sure he's up there at the North Pole just thinking, man, those poor Chiefs fans, man, they've been neglected for so long.
Yeah, it's so
Last
hard to be a
decade,
Chiefs
yeah,
fan.
so hard to be a Chiefs fan. I think they really deserve this one seed again this year. I mean, they haven't had that in a long time. Those fans haven't been able to see a home playoff game in a long time. So I really want to give it to them this year. This year is special for them.
Santa just likes his favorite color. He's just big into red. So
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
is.
get it.
Yeah.
Dave, what about you?
Oh man, I mean the playoffs are pretty much out of the question. So for me, my hope this year, my special Christmas wish is to beat the Packers at Lambeau in Week 18. I mean that's got to be just there's just the thing I'm really praying for and hoping for. I think the Elves are working hard to make that happen for me. No matter what happens the rest of the season, I just want to get out of there with a win in Lambeau because we could either crush the Packers season by knocking them out of the playoffs potentially. We could just overall that would be our Super Bowl for the year is just getting a win in Lambeau because they embarrassed us week one when our hopes were so high. So now that our hopes are so low, I hope that they can just capture a win in Lambeau and we can go into the next season, just with optimistic hope instead of if we go into Lambeau and get crushed, I mean, that's just gonna be an off season of hell again. Just dreading the next season. So that'll get the vibes up and get us excited for next year. So we'll see what happens.
I think if the Packers win out, their chances of making the playoffs are like 90%. So it
Wow.
could be if the Packers win the next two, it could be one of those things just like last year where the Lions can got to spoil. You could be the spoiler, dude. How happy would that be to see all
That
those
would, that would be the best Christmas gift of all time, dude.
all those Packer fans walking home in tears because they
And
don't make the
I'm gonna put
playoffs?
like $100 on Packers money line just to have an emotional hedge.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I guess my Christmas would be Joe Barry. Just I don't
Getting
know, going
fired
down to
under the sun.
linebackers coach or something. Or
People don't take demotions though, I feel like.
yeah, well, let him collect an unemployment check then.
But I guess I'm sorry, that's your wish to Santa. You can have whatever wish you want.
Yeah, that's my
I
wish.
shouldn't be shitting on your wish.
I actually, in all seriousness, though, I work Christmas Eve, and I hate. I'm not good at going to code, so I'm just praying that there's not a code on Christmas Eve. That's my real Christmas wish.
But codes aren't that hard for you and I. They're hard for Bill when
They're
Bill's
hard
gotta
for Bill, yeah, but
Bill's gotta decide what to do. He just tells us what to grab.
I know I still feel nervous because there's so many like drips I haven't made, and so yeah. Do you have you?
Well,
Someone told me my intern year about codes to not be nervous. That doesn't really matter what you do. They're already dead. They can't get more dead. So
That is good. That is good advice. Carla
yeah,
told me
that's
that as
true.
well, but it's also nice to hear it from another healthcare professional. So
There
thank
is
you for that.
something to be said at the last code I went to. I had to like draw doses up. There wasn't like I think we gave like amiodarone or something, so I had to draw them up in the vial. And I didn't make any bags, but I was like drawing things up. And when like 20 people are waiting for you to draw up this medication, like your hands are shaking like you got severe Parkinson's, man.
I know.
That is some scary shit.
Everyone's looking at you. Where's the fucking
Yeah,
amiodarone?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
what.
drop the amiodarone, it's 4 mils. They're like, drop the amiodarone, I want 300 milligrams. So then I'm just like, all right, so I got this vial. It's 150 milligrams per 2 mls. I gotta figure out real quick how much, okay, that's easy math. I need 4 mls. And I'm like, all right, I got a 3 ml syringe. So I gotta get two of these fucking syringes out of this code thing. I got 20 people watching me. I'm shaking like a banshee. I'm just like, this guy's dead behind me.
Yeah, I had one. I think the second one I showed up to, they're like the nurse practitioner was leading it, and she's like, "What do we dositaminate at?" I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And she's like, "Well, go look it up." So I'm like, "All right, sorry." And then the nurse anesthetist comes in, and they usually help with dosing that. She's like, "Oh, just drop the whole effing vial." She just rips it out of my hand, draws it all up, and just slams it in the IV line. But
Yeah.
it's good
It's high,
stories.
it's high pressure situation. But like Bill said, I mean, it shouldn't be realistically. Like you're just trying to save them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. Or you guys, let's do a favorite Christmas movie.
Okay. Bill, you're the special guest. You get to go first.
I'm always a fan of Christmas Vacation.
Hmm.
Nice.
Does give me a little bit of like vibes back to my childhood. I mean, Clark Griswold's obviously a like over the top caricature, but definitely has some of the kind of the endearing like over the top father qualities that my dad had growing up. Like kind of trying to make everything special and all that. So that gives me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah, that's nice. That's an all-time classic.
I
John.
can I just want to say my favorite scene is when he greases up that fucking toboggan and they just make him take off like a rocket.
Yeah, the
I,
saucer.
I didn't
Greasing
see
up
it
the
for the first
saucer.
time until I was like 25 years old, and for some reason I thought that was the funniest thing. But
Yeah, that is
um
pretty funny.
yeah, mine is It's a Wonderful Life, the black and white. Um forget the actor's name. Have you ever seen it, Dave?
I've never seen it, but I had a coworker. I'm smiling because I had a coworker tell me that I have to watch it. It's like the best Christmas movie, he
It's the
said.
best,
So
dude.
That's
It
good.
like the
I'm not
I'm
a
not
big
gonna
black and
ruin.
white video, like movie fan though, to be honest. Like you
I
made
I
me
know
watch Casablanca. Yeah, I was not interested.
I know you're not, but like it's just such a great message and like about
Maybe I can get like
angels
a
and
maybe I can get like a reimagined version where they added some color.
no, I think there is a color version out there, but they always do black and white for some reason. Like they've remastered it for color, but like the black and white one is the ones they always show on cable for some reason. So,
Mhm.
have you ever seen it, Bill?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think I've only seen it once, but it was good.
So I think Dave, you can share yours, and then I'll share the quote from the end of the movie. That's really inspiring.
Or you don't want to just share it right now?
I gotta
Or
look
you're
it
gonna
up. I don't know the exact
okay.
words.
Okay. Well, you guys mentioned some good ones. Christmas Vacation's up there for me for sure. Elf is an obvious one for most people, but I'm gonna go a different one. I'm gonna go Fred Claus. Like Vince Vaughn. A lot of people haven't seen Fred Claus, so I recommend checking it out. Great storyline. It's kind of different, kind of interesting, um, funny, sad. It's inspiring. So it's everything that a Christmas movie should be.
Never seen it.
Oh, dude, you got to see it. I love it.
Oh, I mean, I'll watch it if you promise to watch. It's a
I'm gonna
Wonderful
try
Life.
to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, that's on my to-do list.
Okay, so
What do you think
just
it's on? Do I have to go to the library, public library, and find it on VHS or some
no.
shit?
Don't you have YouTube TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay.
Um,
What do
so
you think it's
just
on? Do I have to go to the library, public?
NBC had like the exclusive right to it, and they were like the only way to watch it was like on broadcast on NBC like on Christmas Eve. But
Like
I think
live?
they've expired the rights
You had
on
to
it.
catch it live?
Yeah, like you had either DVR it or actually like watch it on NBC.
yeah, I think they must have bought the rights. I don't know how it worked, but yeah, you're right. I think for like 50 years that's how it was shown until like the early 2000s. I don't know. Okay, so Dave, the main point of the movie is the main character. He hits a low spot in his life and he's contemplating suicide because he just feels like a
Sounds,
loser.
sounds really Christmassy. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
I
Yeah,
mean, it is.
it is. He feels like a loser. He thinks he's a failure. He doesn't think he's done anything with his life. Um, it ends happy. I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but then the last at the end of the book, his guardian angel gives him a book and writes in it, "Dear George, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence." So remember that, Dave. No man is a failure who has friends.
That's great. Yeah. It's a wonderful life. We're all just living it. I'll have to check it out, dude. It's on my to-do list, but the no color thing is gonna really bother me. I gotta tell you that in advance. I hope it's not longer than like 45 minutes. How long is this fucking movie?
I think it's 2 hours, 10
Yeah,
minutes.
I think it's
Holy shit,
uh,
dude. It's like King Kong, black and
What,
white.
what made you want to yell out, "It's a wonderful life"?
So that's what makes me, that's a great movie title because when you read that quote, I just say, yeah, it's shit, it's a wonderful life, man. Shit, it is a wonderful life, dude. Yeah, we are living in a wonderful life.
Oh God.
If you got friends,
Um,
that shit is wonderful, dude.
oh God. That was good. Do you guys have any last minute Christmas thoughts? Any well wishes for the world or humanity?
I hope nobody codes out on Christmas Eve for you.
That's a
That would be
wonderful life.
that would be a shit Christmas Eve for that person and for you. So I'm gonna hope and pray my Christmas wish for Santa is that nobody codes out at your hospital because that person is fucked if that happens.
Bill, any well wishes for humanity or the world in general?
oh God, I'm blank. I got
Nothing?
nothing. I got
Nothing.
nothing.
Damn, Bill, come on, man. You at least say like, I hope everyone has a good Christmas or something.
Fuck the world, he says.
Yeah,
Free world, no, nobody.
yeah.
Any
Plus,
joy.
I can't think of shit.
You all deserve what you get.
Yeah. He says Judgment Day is upon us, is what he says. Hope you all get coal in your fucking stockings.
Oh man.
No, I hope everybody has safe travels and has a wonderful Christmas. It's a wonderful life that we live in. Just always remember that. Look at your friends and family this holiday season and just be grateful that it is a wonderful life that we live in. Um, and watch Fred Claus for me, okay? Everybody's gonna watch the classics. It's a Wonderful Life. Miracle on 34th Street, Elf, Christmas Vacation. But just check out some of those new ones. Fred Claus, not new ones, but different ones. Four Christmases is a great one with Vince Vaughn as well. Fred Claus. If you're going animated, I watched Klaus last year. It's like Klaus. Have you guys seen that on Netflix?
Oh yeah, I saw that when that first
Yeah,
came out.
good animated movie, good cute Christmas movie. Get to put you in the Christmas spirit of giving. And just always remember that it is a wonderful life that we live in.
That's good. Yeah, I just hope that no one has to spend Christmas alone. I hope everyone out there in the world has, even if it's just a cat or a dog, just someone to spend it with.
Or what did you say, a house plant? Would that qualify?
Yeah, houseplant, fish. Um,
Just don't pet the fish too long. Make sure to put it back in the tank.
right, yeah, lizard, yep. I'm trying to think, a succulent plant. I mean, whatever. Yeah, just that. I just don't want anyone to be alone.
I'm gonna plug my other podcast, Peaked in College. We're gonna drop a new episode probably tomorrow night. It's gonna be our Christmas holiday edition. So this segment was a little teaser towards our holiday edition of Peaked in College. So check that out. I'll post it on my Facebook.
Wow, that was a good little plug.
Yeah, thanks.
Quick, it wasn't abrasive to the ears. It just kind of.
I'm going to take this opportunity to speak to the four other people that are listening to this podcast to please
You're
check
gonna really
out my other
expand your
podcasts as
audience.
well. Yeah.
Exponential growth. There.
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity and expand my audience.
You are a businessman through and through, Dave. Your business
Yeah.
first, always with you, dude.
Yeah, what can I say? It's a wonderful life, man.
All right. All right. Hey, you guys, thanks for coming on. I hope everyone has a wonderful life and a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Merry Christmas, fellas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Dave.